In every corner of the world, countless people live their lives running after goals that aren't truly theirs. They follow paths carved by others, not realizing that true happiness and success come only when you dare to follow your own unique calling. This is the story of Diego, a young man from Spain who once chased dreams that didn't belong to him until life taught him a lesson he would never forget. Diego grew up in a small Spanish town near Seville. His father, a proud businessman, often reminded him, "You must become an architect, Diego. That's the only way to secure respect and wealth." Diego nodded obediently, but deep inside, he felt a quiet unrest. He had always loved painting, sketching vibrant streets, capturing sunsets on canvas. But every time he picked up a brush, his father's words echoed in his ears, drowning his passion. When Diego turned 18, he enrolled in architecture school in Madrid. At first, he worked hard, but soon the lectures, blueprints, and calculations began to suffocate him. At night, instead of studying, he found himself sketching faces of strangers he had seen in the market. His notebooks, meant for formulas, were filled with drawings of gardens, flamenco dancers, and starry skies. Yet every morning he forced himself back to the classroom, carrying not books, but the heavy burden of living someone else's dream. One evening, after failing an important exam, Diego sat alone in his dorm room. His friends were celebrating their achievements, but he felt like an outsider. His eyes burned with unshed tears. "Why can't I feel the joy they feel? Why does this path feel so wrong?" he whispered. He remembered the smell of paint, the texture of canvas, the thrill of creating something that came alive under his brush. For the first time, he admitted to himself, This is not my dream." The next morning, Diego sat at a quiet cafe, lost in thought, when an old traveler sat beside him. The man carried only a small bag and a sketchbook. Noticing Diego's troubled expression, he asked, "What weighs so heavily on you, young man?" Diego hesitated, then shared his story. The traveler listened patiently, then opened his sketchbook, filled with breathtaking landscapes, portraits, and colors that danced on the page. He said softly, "You see, I too once studied law because my family wanted it, but my soul longed to travel and paint. When I finally listened, life gave me wings. Young man, life is too short to live someone else's dream." Diego sat frozen, the stranger's words echoing deep inside. That night, Diego lay awake in his room, staring at the ceiling. The words of the traveler replayed in his mind. Slowly, with trembling hands, he pulled out his old paintbrushes from a dusty box. He placed a blank canvas on the desk, dipped his brush in color, and let his heart flow freely. Hours passed like minutes. For the first time in years, Diego felt alive. He knew his choice would disappoint his family, but the fire of passion burning inside him could no longer be silenced. The next weekend, Diego traveled home. His father sat at the table, expecting to hear about his grades. Diego took a deep breath and placed a painting in front of him. It was of their town, golden under the evening sun, alive with colors and emotions. "This is my dream, father," Diego said firmly. "I do not want to build buildings that don't call me. I want to paint. I want to live my life creating art, not calculations." His father's face hardened. Silence filled the room. His mother, with tears in her eyes, placed a hand on his shoulder. "Follow your heart, Diego. Life is not worth living without joy." Diego left college. At first, life was hard. He worked at cafes, painted on street corners, and sold small sketches to tourists. Many nights he went hungry, many days he doubted himself. People mocked him, saying, "You gave up a golden future for silly colors." But each brushstroke gave him strength. Each painting carried a piece of his soul. One evening, while painting near the Plaza Mayor, an art gallery owner stopped. He stared at Diego's canvas for a long time, then smiled. "Your art has life," he said. "Would you like to display your work in my gallery?" Diego's heart leapt. He agreed, and within weeks his paintings began to attract attention. People admired not only the beauty of his work, but the honesty in each stroke. Months later, Diego stood in the middle of a grand art exhibition. Paintings filled the walls, and people from across Spain admired his creations. A reporter asked him, "What inspired you to become an artist?" Diego smiled, his voice steady. "I was once living a dream that wasn't mine. I learned that true success comes only when you stop chasing others' dreams and dare to follow your own." Applause filled the hall. His father, standing quietly in the crowd, finally looked at his son with pride, whispering, "You were right. You may earn money, fame, and even applause following someone else's dream, but your soul will remain empty. True fulfillment comes only when you listen to the voice within and live authentically." So ask yourself today, are you chasing someone else's dream, or are you brave enough to live your own? Thank you for watching Wisdom Tales. Here, every story teaches you not just wisdom for life, but also helps you learn and practice English in a simple, natural way. Subscribe today and join us every week for powerful stories that make your life better and your English stronger.